Hello, welcome to lesson 13 of the Hebrew course. We will look at exercise 11, and the exercise 11 is about the so-called nifal, which is another verbal so-called conjugation. We've seen a lot of different verbs, but only in the same so-called conjugation. The thing is that you can manipulate with a verbal root in order to gain other types of meanings from a root. The nifal is often, meaning-wise, a reflexive or passive. That is something that is being done to you or something you're doing to yourself. And it's characterized by a nun that is prefixed to it, a nun in front of the root. So, let's look at some of the forms. We can see them in the texts. If you look at sentence 1 here in exercise 11, it goes like this. Uvenavi Yisrael nishmar. And by a prophet, Israel was kept, was saved. Nishmar, was kept or was saved, is the root shamar, right? Shin mem resh, with a nun in front, and the nun then is a nifal nun. Nifal nishmar. And this then is, in this case, passive, be kept. Now, you can't be certain when you have a nifal. You can't be certain that it's a passive or a reflexive. So you have to use the dictionary or the word list in each case to ascertain what the actual meaning of the nifal is. But what you do is you simply, when you see a word like this, nishmar, you think maybe it is a nifal. It sounds like a nifal. It has a ni. So you remove the ni and then you say, the root must be shin mem resh. Then you look up the root shin mem resh in the nifal, and then you get the meaning. So in that sense, this is not complicated. It's just unusual for those of you who haven't learned Semitic languages before. Sentence 2 goes like this: Amasa lo nishmar b'cherev asher b'yad Yoav. Amasa, that's the king, was not kept from the sword, or was not saved by the sword, which was in Joab's hand. Not saved or guarded by the sword which was in Joab's hand. And again we have the nishma, the nifal, perfect, was not guarded. 3. V'haya lahem teva yaveh, tzav latzav, tzav latzav, kav lakav, kav lakav, ze'er sham, למען ייכשלו אחור ונשברו ונלכדו. And the word of the Lord will come to them, saying, Tzav latzav, kav lakav, whatever that means. Ze'er sham, a little there, Leman yikashlu, in order that they stumble, achor, backwards, v'nishburu, and are crushed, v'nilkadu, and are taken as prisoners. 3 nifals in the road, yikashlu, v'nishburu, v'nilkadu. Yikashlu, they will stumble, in order that they stumble, is a regular, imperfect nifal, yikashlu. Now, where's the nun then? Right? Nifal is characterized by nun in front of the root. Well, the nun is here assimilated. Remember that a nun which clashes with another consonant will be assimilated into that consonant. So instead of yin kashlu, you get yik kashlu. A long kaf, dagish forte in the kaf, there yik kashlu, achor, venishbru, and are crushed. That's a consecutive, perfect plural in the nifal. Venilkadu, same form, consecutive perfect plural in the nifal. 4. Nafshinu ketzipor nimleta mipach yokshim. Hapach nishbar va'anachnu nimlatnu. Our soul, like a bird, was caught in the bird catcher's net. the net broke, and we escaped. So, was caught, nimleta, is again a nifal. That's a perfect feminine here, third person. Our soul was caught, or our life, or our being, or meaning we were caught. The net broke. That's nishpar, again a nifal, and we fled, nimlatnu. So let me just check here a second. Yeah. There's something strange going on with the meaning of Nibnata here, but never mind that. The important point here is the nifal form. So, sentence 5, Hishamer lecha pen tishkach et Yahweh bishmo tishavea. Watch out, lest you forget Yahweh. In His name you should swear. Hishamer lecha, Hishamer is imperative nifal. Now the imperative nifal also has the lengthened first consonant. It also then has a prefix he, which is borrowed from a whole completely different conjugation. So the he is there in the imperative and in some of the infinitives. Beware, for you, take care that you do not forget pen tishkach. Tishkach is a regular a imperfect in the kal. The final word of the sentence, sentence 5, tishavea, is another nifal imperfect. Again, the lengthened first root consonant shin is an indication of that. 6. Nishafta yachad leman titstak. Let us go to court together so that you can be vindicated. Nishafta is a nifal imperfect, long, and it's a long imperfect. So when you see the ni, you think, oh, that's a nifal. Actually, the ni there is the ni prefix of the imperfect. But it still is a nifal, but that you can see by the lengthened shin. And here it's a long imperfect. Remember that we have long imperfects where the a ends the imperfect, indicating the sort of the let us sense. Let us go to court together. 7. Beyom hibare hashamayim vehaaretz yatzar Yahweh Elohim et haadam afar min haadama. On the day of creating the day of being created of the heaven and the earth, Yahweh God formed man of dust from the earth. On the day of being created, Beyom hibare hashamayim, that's actually a construct chain with 3 members. So both yom and hibare are in the construct. Hibare is also the infinitive construct, being created. Sentence 8. Bayom hazeh nivga'u kol ma'ayanot tehom rabba va'arubot hashamayim niftachu. On this day, all the sources of the big abyss cracked open, and the windows of the sky opened. Nivka'u, nifal perfect plural. And the last word of the sentence, niftachu, opened, is also nifal plural perfect. Was opened. 9. Vayisachru ma'ayanot tehom va'arubot hashamayim vayikale hageshem min hashamayim. And the sources of the abyss and the windows of heaven were shut, and the rain was kept from the sky. Consecutive imperfect vayisacharu, right? Consecutive imperfect va. Remember that the consecutive imperfect is characterized by a va in front of it, and it is the past narrative tense. And here in the nifal, so it's perfect, so it's passive, was closed. In the plural, later in the verse you have the same form but in the singular, vayikale, the rain was held back. That's the end of this exercise. Thank you.